Hi everyone, I'm doing my John Maxwell for today, and it's growing to your potential. The scripture is Philippians 2:15, and it's in which you shine like stars in the universe. So for us as Christians, we know that we are always going to go through challenges, through difficult times. Life doesn't come problem-free, unfortunately. So this scripture is encouraging us to realize our potential. It's been said that our potential is God's gift to us, and what we do with it is our gift to Him. But our potential is probably our greatest untapped resource. Why? We can do anything, but we can't do everything. So in our universe today, you find that things are changing rapidly. And if you want to survive, you have to be willing to try different things. You have to be willing to do different things. And you have to be willing to take the opportunities that are available. But we have to keep at the core, what is our purpose? And our purpose as Christians is to know God, to love Him, and to serve Him. If you try to become somebody that becomes a jack of all trades and master of none, then you're not going to achieve anything. So many people never really dedicate themselves to their purpose in life. They become a jack of all trades, master of none, rather than jack of few trades focused on one. And for me, I can tell you that I didn't choose to move from being an executive assistant or starting out in HR, then move to being an executive assistant, move to doing project management, move to doing developing websites, move to doing school administration, move to teaching, move to working in healthcare, move to working in a contact center, in a call center, move to working from home. I didn't choose any of that. But at the core of that, I kept that I am a spiritual director and an HR professional, and I'm focused on what I am doing. And that's important if you want to achieve your ultimate goal. Because some people are fortunate, they'll start out in a career and they'll stay in that. But for many of us, we're forced to adapt, to change. It doesn't matter if you start out as an accountant or a doctor or a nurse. People change, and people take the opportunities that come up for them. So there's 4 principles to put you on the road to growing toward your potential. Number 1, concentrate on one main goal. Nobody ever reached their potential by scattering themselves in 20 directions. Concentrate on continual improvement. So when we look at our improvement, each day we can become a little bit better than we were yesterday. And we don't concentrate on the past. So there's that scripture in the Bible where Jesus tells us that each day you have to work out your salvation. And that's true of what we are doing each day. So today the sun is out and it's nice. But last week we had rain almost every day. So for me, I go swimming every day, but I had to adjust because obviously I'm not going to go swimming in the rain, am I? And so we adjust and we make improvements. If for my goal it's losing weight, so I'm not losing the weight I should be, but that doesn't mean that I'm not making the effort. There's obviously something in my body that is preventing me from losing the weight, but hopefully I find that magic formula that helps me. And I also pay attention to the foods I'm eating. When I eat pastas, when I eat a lot of processed foods, I find that my body has more inflammation in it. So you can pay attention to what is happening in your body and to your spirit when you're looking towards achieving goals. Maybe you've made a lot of mistakes in your life, or you've had an especially difficult past. You can work your way through it, and you can move forwards. You can move on. We can focus on the future. That's the 4th point. You can become better tomorrow than you are today. It all starts with doing one thing at a time, taking one step at a time, and focusing on our goals. And the question that John Maxwell gives us is, how can you incorporate these principles into your life to reach your potential? So I've given you some examples on what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. And you can think of your own examples and how you are doing it in your personal life, in your professional life. Today, a lot of the things in Canada are all done online. So if you look for events that are held at locations like physical locations, they are very costly, and people are turning more and more to social media. Even if you go onto Eventbrite, which is a platform where people book their events, most of the events, even training and development, it's being done online. People are setting up their events so that people can book them through Eventbrite, pay for them, and then they'll have a Zoom session or they'll have a telecast. There's a conference called Global Leadership Summit where they have faith leaders that present. And I just saw it on the internet. Those conferences, they are like $149, and they telecast speakers in that you can watch, faith leaders, people who are world-class speakers. So for somebody like me, that is a lot more convenient than going to Florida to see John Maxwell, or going to America and then booking for the flights, the hotels. Then you have to book your food as well. And by the time you add all of that up, it will come to at least $3,000 or $4,000, because your conference alone is $2,000. So people are turning more and more to using AI, using technology to get things done, to learn, to tap into events. Today I follow that African Development Bank because I like to see what they're doing. And it's interesting because the challenges here are some of the challenges there. People want you to be an entrepreneur. They want you to open businesses. They want you to be able to help others, but you can't get the loans. You can't get the financial support to do it. So it becomes a catch-22. And that's why, unfortunately, in Nigeria, a lot of the graduates started turning to crime. They graduated, they got their degrees, they couldn't get jobs, they couldn't get loans, so they all started turning to crime. And it's not what we go to university for. It's not what we train for. It's not what we educate ourselves for. So they're trying to shift that, and they're trying to change things. And we have to either be part of the solution or part of the problem. So for me, I don't go anywhere anymore. I get a lot of invitations. The conservatives invited me to an event for the Latinas that's coming up with Pierre Poilievre's wife. I'm not going to go to it because I don't have any money. And for me, I feel ashamed to go out to an event or to go on a holiday or do something if you're not working. It's better for me to stay at home until I get that job and I get that opportunity. I'm doing this, which is business building. I'm putting my videos out, sharing them, and people are watching them, so I'm investing in others. But until I get that job and I get that income coming in, I won't go to anything. I just go to the store, I get my groceries, I come home, I go for a walk, because at least that gets me out of my unit for a little while. And it's good to get fresh air. It's also good for your eyes. Like St. Hildegard teaches us that if you have problems with your eyes, you should try to stare at the grass, the green grass, for as long as possible without blinking. There's something about that color that helps your eyes to heal. And being outside, being in the sunlight, it keeps you healthy rather than staying indoors the whole day, because it if you're indoors the whole day, it leads to you being sick. So people are encouraged to get out, to be in the sunshine. That's why even when they built hospitals and they built retreat centers and things like that, there's always a little garden or there's a place where people can go and sit. There's a chapel, because all of those things help your body to heal. They help your body to get better. It's not just like for the sake of it. It's things that they tested and they tried them and they saw that it works. Even the type of music you're listening to. I listen to, on YouTube, there's healing music and it's got like birds in the background and things like that. So I listen to that for 15 minutes every day. And I listen to Gregorian chants. I listen to different types of music that are good for the body to heal. And I started using my essential oils every day because otherwise the stress is too much. I can feel all my stomach muscles in a knot. So I'm using my lavender, bergamot, clary sage, and frankincense. Those are all good oils for detox. They're good oils for balancing your body. They're good oils for high blood pressure. So I'm using those to help myself. And so you can think of things about your education, what you've done, and how you can help yourself. And by sharing your story, you're also helping others. You don't have to tell people what to do, but by sharing what you are doing, what worked for you, maybe you've overcome a lot of challenges in life, or maybe you've overcome faith challenges. Maybe you, like me, you've had to have long periods of unemployment for most of your life in Canada. You could share about how you overcame that, what you did to build your resilience, to build your focus. Everybody's got a story to tell. Everybody's got a journey. Everybody's got their own life experiences. So you can share those. And I'm doing it using John Maxwell because I'm looking to get speaking engagements. I'm looking to help others using the John Maxwell teachings. But you don't have to be a John Maxwell speaker. I have my license to teach on the books that he's written, like 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth, Put Your Dream to the Test, and I facilitate those in a specific way. But if you want to do what I'm doing, there's nothing stopping you. You can share your journey, you can share what you've overcome. And if you want to talk about prisoners, I think you should look at people who went to jail because they didn't have the right legal support in place. Look at Boris Becker. So you can either look at Boris Becker and say he's a world-class tennis player, or you can look at him and say, yeah, he's one of those repeat offenders. He deserves to go to jail and be locked up and throw away the key. It depends on how you look at it. For me, I think people should be given the benefit of the doubt, and I think people should really think about what future they're building for people. Because we can either say, yeah, you know what, he deserved it. Or you can say, you know what, I could have made that mistake. I could have done it. It could have been me in the jail instead of Boris Becker. Because none of us know it all. None of us are complete experts. Even the doctors, they don't know everything. Like Dr. Zaretsky, he didn't believe me when I told him that I recovered using prayer and using my meditation and going to church. He said, oh, you can't get better like that. I said, yes, I did. But Dr. Ng knew, because Dr. Ng knew my progress and he knew what I was going through. And Dr. Ng never used to prescribe medication to me unless it was absolutely necessary. Even antibiotics and all that, he used to tell me, take Tylenol, or if it was an infection or something like that. And he never used to give me, it's only if it went on for like months and I wasn't getting better, then he would say, I think like, since you tried the Tylenol and you tried this, you tried your home remedies, then yes, I'll prescribe something. So that's the difference between a doctor who has a good bedside manner and a doctor who knows your history and is good with you, like has a good relationship with you, and somebody that's just meeting you and telling you, no, that can't work. Because psychiatrists don't believe in prayer, a lot of them. If you watch Father Chad Ripperger on YouTube, that's one of the things he talks about. He says psychiatrists are rooted in communism and they don't believe in the power of prayer. But for those of us who are Christian, we do. We believe in the power of prayer. We believe that the body needs time to relax. The body needs vacations. The body needs for the mind to not be under pressure the whole time. Financial pressure, job stress, not knowing what's going to happen next. It came to such a bad state for me here and my mom. We were going to go back to Zimbabwe. She told me, she said, I talked to Basil and Ephraim, they can send tickets for us, we can pack up and go, because no one needs us here. You do so much in the church, you do so much to help people, you mentor people, you go out of your way, and nobody, when you are in need, nobody helps. So I said to her, let's go. I don't mind. I was happy. I said, let's go back. And then, unfortunately, Basil decided to wrap up. He decided he wasn't going to continue to stay there. So then we didn't end up going back. But I'm very flexible like that. If somebody says to me, yeah, there's an opportunity, you can come, I'll go. I have nothing here anyway. So what is keeping me in Canada? Nothing. I don't have an income. I don't have a job. I sit at home every day applying for jobs. There's nothing to keep me here. I can go. If you're going to start out with nothing, what's the difference? What's the difference? I came to Canada with money, with an education. I worked hard. I studied. I didn't go around committing crimes. And this is the reward I'm getting. To be unemployed, to have no pension, to have no income, to have to take handouts. Even my electricity is subsidized because I can't afford to pay for it. Is that what you call being successful as a country? And they still want to bring in more temporary foreign workers. They want to bring in more people. So they should help us to relocate. They should say, yeah, England needs executive assistants. You can go there. We'll relocate you there. Or this country needs HR professionals, so we'll send you there. You can go and work there. That's what they should do. Then they can bring more temporary foreign workers in here, and they can make sure that those of us who are sitting at home are actually going to earn good salaries. That 70,000 that they want me to earn, so I can get a loan from the bank. Because that's what they're saying. They're saying I have to earn 70,000 to get a loan from the bank. So they should give me that job, paying at least 70,000. Then I can get my loan and I can do my John Maxwell. I can travel to different parts of Africa and I can go and teach it there. It's a win-win. It's a win-win. They should do it.